Hello everybody, welcome to the Shnews. This is your weekly shoe news recap. Today we've got a whole bunch of stories to go through. We have the release recap over the Galaxy foamposites that went down this week. We've seen some exciting new product innovation from Nike, as well as an exciting partnership on the horizon that has seen a healthy boost in Nike stocks. Also got some updates and some info on the Chicago Union Ones dropping this week. A price updates with the Pharell Jellyfish Adidas sneakers that has these looking not quite so attractive now, and a whole bunch of exciting new sneaker updates. So let's get into it by recapping this week's biggest sneaker releases. New Balance and Dover Street Market teamed up on the 991 V2 in an all black colorway that's giving a little bit of that Stone Island New Balance collab energy from last year or the year before. These sold out pretty quickly. Also had just today the drop of the incredibly limited undefeated Nike Air Zoom Spiridon, which came accompanied with this pretty full-on advertising campaign featuring a dude jumping out of a plane. And I guess in order to make sure that these sold out, given how relatively unsuccessful the last undefeated Spiridon collaboration was, they decided to limit these to just 1,000 pairs. And these pairs are all only available in store in the various undefeated locations in LA, San Fran, Vegas, Phoenix, and New York. Also had the Joe Freshgoods 992s that dropped on the Joe Freshgoods website. If you missed out on these and you're a little bit heard about it, don't worry. These are actually going to be wheeling out via the normal retailers as well as New Balance this upcoming week. So you still have another chance to grab another L on these. Also had the Air Jordan 3 Lucky Shorts that went down today. These have sold out, I think, in most places, but there are still a few places I'm seeing online that have some sizes. But undoubtedly, the release of the week, for some people, the release of the month, were these, the Galaxy foamposites. We've been waiting since 2012 to get these again. You guys might remember in 2012 there were literal riots and fights over this sneaker, and the hype in 2025 certainly isn't the same as it was back then, but these still, nonetheless, sold out pretty quickly. Here in the UK, they sat around for a little bit after the release. I was getting some reports yesterday from people in London saying that there were some pairs and sizes sitting in store in various places. But I think once people cottoned on to the fact that these are reselling for a little bit of money in the resale markets, those pairs were swiftly hoovered up. I was lucky enough to actually win a couple of raffles as well as hit on the Nike Sneakers app for these. So I am triple parked currently on the foamposite ones, which is pretty dope. Currently, the resale prices, like I said, aren't too bad. If you wanted to cop a pair, you can pick a pair up for right around 350 odd pounds, which is about 400 bucks. So yeah, there's a bit of lunch money to be made, and there's a little bit of lunch money to lose if you have to cop a pair in the resale market. Now, I did make a review on these yesterday. It is fantastic, so make sure you guys go and click on the video above, or check that video out after you are finished with the Shnews. Pretty crazy week, but there is still another crazy week of releases upcoming this week, which we are going to talk about towards the back end of the video, so make sure you guys stick around for that. I was happy with the foams, also picked up the Lucky Shorts. Did you guys pick anything up? Feel free to let me know. Right, so I want to start off with this story here concerning the sneakers instant got 'em one-time pass. This story was doing the rounds earlier on in the week. You probably would have seen multiple accounts talking about it and chatting about it. It was essentially going through some T's and C's from Nike themselves, outlining how you could potentially use a one-time sneakers pass to basically guarantee yourself a W on the Nike sneakers app for any particular sneaker of your choice between a particular date period. Now, what's come to light is that this was just a scheme or a pass that was available over All-Star Weekend. And so the people that this was meant for have now received their one-time sneakers passes. So if you were thinking maybe you had to sift through the app, engage with some content, or maybe do a sneaker scratch, or basically just continue to refresh, hoping that you'll be sent one of these instant got 'em passes, forget it. The fact that this story is cap is also bolstered by the fact that a lot of the big accounts that were reporting on this story earlier on in the week have subsequently deleted the stories pertaining to this. So yeah, don't worry about this anymore. It's cap. The other big news story of the week, even though it's not specifically about sneakers, but it does pertain to the big boys Nike is that Kim Kardashian and her brand SKIMS have officially announced a collaboration with Nike. From what I've seen, the plan is for these two to come together to launch an initial collection that centers around female leisure wear, and then next year a more robust collaborative partnership spanning both genders is going to unfold. Now, this news was received really positively by the markets, who see this joint venture as a really positive movement for both brands moving forward, but particularly Nike, who have seen a small increase in their share prices. Adidas, or Adidas basketball's global GM Eric Wise has resigned. He took to LinkedIn to announce he's leaving the Three Stripes after a little over 8 years at the brand. And this resignation follows an impressive showing for Adidas at last week's All-Star game. I mean, I'm not being funny, man. At the moment, Adidas basketball are right there. I mean, think about the AE1 was a lot of people's sneaker of the year last year. The latest shoes from Harden are fire. The latest Lillard joints are fire. Donovan Mitchell. I mean, it kind of seems like if you wanted to go out on top, this is the way to do it. Now, it's unclear where Wise is off to next. He hasn't said anything or mentioned anything, but the suspicion out there in the market is that he's on his way over to Nike basketball, which would be a crazy move to scythe over to the ops. You guys might have seen this story doing the rounds earlier on in the week. It is this incredible mansion being sold for $24 million that features a $300,000 Jordan-inspired sneaker room. Now, this house is crazy. It's got a full-sized regulation indoor basketball court. It's got a 9-hole putting green, crazy pool, everything you'd expect from a crazy mansion. But the most impressive feature is this setup. I mean, bro, check out these wooden shelves with the plexiglass in front, the fluorescent lighting, the basketball hoop underneath the Jumpman logo. Apparently this room cost $300,000 to create on its own, and you can see the sneakers that are featuring. There's some grails in there for sure, some old school sneakers, some new sneakers. These sneakers are apparently included in the price. But when you think about $24 million, they best be included. Before we get into some exciting new sneakers and some new looks, some detailed looks, all that good stuff, let's just quickly go through the latest updates with regard to probably the most exciting sneaker left to release this month, the Jordan 1 High Chicago Shadow Union collab. Now, there was a raffle that went down for these earlier on this week, a few days ago now, but that raffle was just for residents within LA County. What you want to be concerned about is the upcoming release on Thursday, the 27th, on the Union microsite. It is the following website, union2025.com. The release is supposed to be going down 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the whole reason for the microsites, I think, is to try to battle the bots that would otherwise be right on top of the normal websites. Now, when it comes to the stock, I'm hearing rumors that the stock is really high. There's bear pairs out there. I haven't heard any exact numbers, but stock is supposed to be high, which is good news for all of us. I haven't seen these load up here in the UK on the Nike Sneakers app, so I'm not sure if Union have just been given the lion's share of the product to sell via the websites. I'm not sure to what extent these are going to be wheeled out via the normal tier 0 retailers. I would suspect so, but in any event, these are dropping on the Union website this Thursday. Right, let's get into some new sneakers. Right, so let's start off with the Salehe Bembury New Balance 991 V2. These are called the Colors Be the Palette. And these are supposed to be releasing very soon. No specific release date information, but soon, maybe the springtime is what I'm seeing here. So these feature this really nice looking long-haired purple suede. Got a slightly darker purple mesh base. Some striking accents in the royal blue, gold, deep green, and then a little bit of co-branding on the tongue. And I think are a little bit more exciting and out there than the recently released New Balance 1500. So yeah, I'm digging these. Now, while we're on Salehe Bembury, figuratively, I want to just quickly mention his Moncler Trail Grip trainers that are available right now online. They are a little bit pricey at £615, but if you're into Montclair, if you're pretty affluent, you're pretty well off like that, these could well be an option. And there are still some sizes available from what I can see. We've had some updated detailed looks at the Air Jordan 1 High UNC Reimagined. So we've also got a release date as well, supposedly dropping on May the 10th, and also supposed to be coming out in full family sizing, potentially hinting at these being quite a big release. I mean, don't quote me on that, but we shall see. According to these updated images, we have got a much better look at them, and they look pretty much identical in terms of the materials to the ones that they used on the Lost and Founds. I'm picking out particularly the cracked leather that you can see around the collar, and also the sort of cracked leather on the mid panels as well, and on the toe box. And if you look at the outsole here, it also has that effect where it's kind of worn down. So yeah, sailed out midsole, a little bit of oxidation action on the tongue. They look fine. Some more dot swoosh Air Max 1 polys. There's another pair coming out, and these are supposed to be dropping really soon, in fact, this week. And they're inspired by Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider, which is a game / movie that you guys might remember from back in the day. These are going to be available on the Nike Sneakers app for $150, but they're going to be available early for Dot Swoosh members, I'm seeing here, who have to complete some sort of a quest. We have an exciting Saucony collaboration that is not J-tips, but if you were to only give these a cursory glance, you could easily be mistaken in thinking these were indeed a J-tips collaboration, because these are pretty bright, these are pretty vibrant. These are a collaboration between Saucony and Bissau, and they honor Caribbean culture, and they're called the Bondaman Jack, or I'm gonna say Bondaman Jack. What do you say, Bondaman Jack? It's a bad Jamaican accent there, let me tell ya. And these are on the Saucony Shadow 5000s, and they're actually dropping next week, so a mere 6.5 days away, on the 1st of March. We have a little update with regard to one of this year's most, I want to say, surprising collaborations, and it's an in-house collaboration between Nike and their SB departments using as a base the Air Max 95. And the latest is that these are going to be a collaboration with Nike SB skater Eric Costin. Rumors are this is going to be a speed yellow colorway, and you can see the mock-up pictured here. No information on how they're going to rejig the tooling or how they're going to make these a little bit more skatable. Now, speaking of Eric Costin, last week at the All-Star game, he shared the Nike SB4s in the red colorway that we had for a long time been excited about receiving this year. We heard information earlier on in the year that this release was to be cancelled, but they have re-emerged as a friends and family only pair. We also saw last week a whole bunch of Ferrari spark up around a early release of the SB4 in the navy colorway that is set to drop sometime soon, I think maybe even next month. The red version is the friends and family pair, the navy is the release pair. You could flip these around completely and it wouldn't really make much difference to most people. I still think out of the 3 colorways that are out there, the ones that we currently have, the green ones, are still, in my opinion, the best so far. What are you guys thinking about that? Right, let's talk about this new sneaker, brand new sneaker from Nike. Even though it looks like an archive sneaker from Nike, we're talking about the Nike GT Future. This was one of the stars of All-Star Weekend, and the excitement for this sneaker was somewhat emboldened by the person that was seen featuring them on feet, none other than Wale, who is a bit of a legend in sneaker culture, particularly as a representative of that whole early 2010s era when he was rocking out predominantly in Nike basketball. And given that this sneaker looks quite similar to a, like a flight posit, definitely has that DNA in it, as you can see, they couldn't have picked a better person to rock these out early. These are supposed to be coming out in the holiday season for around $190. We've seen a variety of different colorways, this orange looking pair, as well as a copper eggplant pair, as well as this all black pair that was seen rocked on court. And these have drawn some pretty interesting comparisons to a number of different sneakers. Obviously having that foamposite, flightposite DNA, having a sort of similar silhouette aesthetic look to the Nike Zoom Hyperflights. And these do look tough, especially on foot. Although every time I see Wale wearing these, I can't help but feel like he's been given a pair that's way too big for him. I don't know. This is just the type of exciting new Nike sneaker made for the courts that I think we can get excited about. I'd be up for trying a pair of these. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this could be a big sneaker from Nike, or are these pretty meh? Feel free to let me know. Right, so I've seen some opinions change about this sneaker. These are the Pharell Adidas Jellyfish sneaker that we first saw pop off during Paris Fashion Week. The updates are these are going to be releasing in the fall, and they're priced at $280, which to my mind is too much. I can't really see anything in terms of the materials that screams 280. These kind of felt like they were going to be nestling inside a particularly accessible part of the sneaker marketplace, maybe between the 150 to 220 type range. Now that they're 280, they feel a little bit more pretentious than cool, in my opinion. I had some fresh looks at Bad Bunny's Adidas Ballerina bold gold sneaker, which is going to be dropping exclusively at boutiques this coming March. This kind of has a Kill Bill vibe and aesthetic about it. It's not really my cup of tea in terms of the silhouettes personally, but I do understand why people would like these. They do look like they would be a really nice fashion MF type shoe. The retail price point I'm seeing here is $120. Release date 29th of March. I've also had a really detailed breakdown as well as a really good in-hand look at the Jordan 4 Nigel Sylvester Brick by Brick that's supposed to be dropping next month, and it's been broken down by none other than the man himself, as you can see here in this video, where he details the packaging, which again, like his previous collaborations with Jordan Brand, has a textured feel to it, where the previous releases felt a little bit like the driveway. This box is supposed to feel like an actual brick. The inside of the packaging features a little Velcro security strap, which is how bricks themselves are supposedly transported. The shoes come individually wrapped, and the textures on the shoe also reflect the way a brick feels with the material around the mudguard, and obviously the color. It is a very exciting sneaker. Some people are continuing to call this the sneaker of the year, and I don't know, man, it's definitely up there. I can't think of a better new sneaker that's come out so far this year. I'm definitely looking forward to them. Also got a pretty exciting unboxing here thanks to Complex of the Action Bronson New Balance 990 V6s. Both of these colorways look super clean, man. I actually think this pack, or these two colorways, are better than the previous 990 V6 colorways. There's just something about the vibrant colors. They give me a little bit more, I don't know, positive energy about them. I'm liking them. I do need to try out the 990 V6s. I would be happy to take either one of these colorways, if not both. No specific release date information that I can see out there at the moment, but if these are starting to get seeded out at this point, it can't be long before we actually see a release date. Our first look at the Jordan 5 Fire Red Black Tongue. We haven't had this sneaker in this fashion since the OGs, I don't think, in terms of like the full complement of OG features, most notably the Nike Air featuring on the back. Unfortunately, the images that we've got to go off at this point are courtesy of Potato Pick Extraordinaire XC sneaker. The only complaint that I'm seeing out there for this particular pair is that the font of the 23 isn't bang on, and the complaint is that if they were going to go through the trouble to put the Nike Air on the back, why not do the entire thing right by matching it up to the correct font? So yeah, you're never going to please all the sneakerheads all the time, no matter what you do, really. I've got some more Kobe 9s announced for this year. This is in the Perspective colorway, and this is the Kobe 9 Elite Low Protro. Previously, this Perspective colorway featured on the super high top versions, and these are set to come out a little bit later on in the year. Also hearing that we're going to be getting a Nike and Undefeated collaboration on the Air Max 95 in a whole bunch of different colorways. In fact, there is a purple colorway, there's a yellow colorway, there's an orange colorway, there's a like OG sort of neon colorway, and then this more darker military green type colorway. No specific release dates, but obviously it's the 30th anniversary of the Air Max 95. There are a whole bunch of other exciting Air Max 95 collaborations set to drop in the year as well. So this is going to be an interesting one to see play out. We've got some more Jordan 5s set to drop this year as well. This is a PSG colorway, and these mock-ups have these looking pretty nice. The color code is Off Noir Particle Rose or Rose Anthracite Pearl Pale Sink. If they come out looking anything like these, bro, these will be really popular. These are looking fire. So Limousine skateboards are set to release a Nike SB collab sometime this summer. According to these mock-ups, these look a little bit like the outside of a basketball. I'm not exactly sure how these are going to come out in the end. I mean, the color code is a little bit weird. It says dark pony, black, silver, white, range green, hyper royal. I mean, bro, I don't know how you take those colors and then transform them into this particular mock-up, but I'm not an expert when it comes to doing mock-ups, so I'm probably missing something there. But yeah, another SB collab to look forward to this summer. I've also got some mock-ups of the Soulfly Air Jordan 3 collab, which is set to be coming out sometime in the holiday season. Also got some Kobe 3 Protros to look forward to this year as well. A Halo version as well as a Royal Pulse Kobe 3 to come out sometime this year. We've had an official look, first look I might add as well, at the Supreme Nike Air Max 1, which is supposed to be releasing this springtime. This came out of the Supreme lookbook, and okay, they're not like knocking me over with excitement. It's a predominantly black Air Max 1 contrasted with a little bit of white in the form of a swoosh, and then a little mini swoosh at the front, and then what looks to be maybe some kind of a Dubré on the front as well. So maybe the redeeming feature of this particular collab is not so much the exciting color blocking, but maybe the exciting materials. Also hearing some rumors that Nike and Kith are going to be teaming up for a collection set to drop this holiday season. No information on sneakers or clothing or whatever, but it will be good to see what Nike and Kith can do. And it just shows you, man, Nike are keeping the foot on the gas. They are keeping the pressure up this entire year when it comes to the releases, when it comes to the retros, when it comes to the new product, and when it comes to the collabs. Also had a look at the Jordan 3 Classic Cement Gray, which has this silver update about it, featuring a sort of more metallic-y or shiny silver portion on the midsole above the air units, and then what looks to be a silvery shiny type finish on the elephant print, predominantly white upper. It's a pretty basic sneaker, very clean looking. These are set to drop in the summer. Rightio, let's wrap things up today by talking about some of this week's biggest sneaker releases you might want to keep an eye out for. First and foremost, 26th, you've got those Air Max 1 Polys. 27th, you have the Union Chicago Shadow Highs. Don't forget that micro sites that you need to jump onto. High stock, hopefully a lot of you guys out there can cop manually. I might give them a go, even though I'm still not sure how they're going to wheel out here in the UK and the EU just yet. And then finally on the 28th, you've got the Kyrie Kai 2, the artist on court. Yeah, what a crazy month of sneaker releases. Those Union Chicagos are pretty much going to be the icing on the cake on what has probably been one of the biggest sneaker release months in living memory. I can't wait to bring you guys my video on my thoughts on this entire month and how it's going to act as a solid launch pad for Nike to just keep up the momentum for the rest of the year as they get things back on track. So don't forget to like the video before you bounce. Please go and give me a follow over on IG, even if you're not a regular user on there. I'm not far off 100K followers over there right now, so any help you can give me there would be much appreciated. And I will be back very soon to give you my thoughts on the Air Jordan 3 Lucky Shorts. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate the support, and I will see you on the next one. Take care for now, and peace.